let's get this video over with. It's hot in here. Fine. How about this? Compromise. I don't like beanies. I hate sweatshirts a lot more. But I don't like beanies, so I'll have to wear the beanie instead. Because that's killing me. So, first thing first, we're introduced to Megan. Which is where we start with our initial problem of the movie. They're all druggies. Like, this movie makes it look like every single middle schooler to high schooler is like, coke, you know? Which is probably true. I don't know. Maybe I'm just quirky and cool and not like other women. So, like, Megan's like 14-year-olds. Keep this in mind. They're 14. It's not like they're college students. This 14-year-old's like, oh, I'd give a blowjob for some coke. Just massage my brain real fast to understand what you just said. It feels like the original script was made for college students, but then they give it like a more urgent sense, maybe? I don't know. I can't think of the word. But to give it a more powerful, since they switched the age of the actors, and like the ages mentioned in the script, to like 14, 15, 16, which doesn't make sense. And then we're introduced to my favorite character, Amy. This is upsetting. This is sad. I'm gonna spoil it. You probably shouldn't watch this movie. It's not good. And then we're introduced to Amy. Woo. I don't have a script for these. I'm making this up as I go. Well, I have a sort of script. But woo-wee. If I had crazy hot scale still here, 7'8", actually. 7'8". That's my actual height, by the way. 7'8". Jesus. But, it's just slowly disappearing. I know people who wear beanies like this. So, and then we get introduced to the mother of Megan. No, we get introduced to her earlier. And honestly, I reasoned with her at the very beginning. Because, you know, all she did was yell at her child. And I do that all the time. But it was more of a, yeah, well, she's doing coke, so, I mean, you've reasonably met her. She's not even out of high school yet, and she's a druggie. And so, then we go to this giant party. This is the absolute stupidest part of the movie, because it's... Okay. Think about this real hard. What's one of the things What's one thing you shouldn't do when doing drugs? A, film it. B, not film it. You want to guess which one they do? They film themselves taking copious amount of drugs. It's stupid. And it's like, oh my god, it just never ends. Like, all you need is the scenes with Amy. Because it explains how different Amy is from the rest of them. Because, you know, in the scenes, all of them are drinking, and Amy's like, oh no, and Megan's like, get that crap away from her. She's a good Christian girl. Just how I like them. But, oh yeah, that scene. No, I don't want to see that. They're just doing all kinds of drugs. Amy throws up on someone. They weren't very... I didn't care. Kind of deserved it, I'm gonna be honest. And like the whole time, it's like, let's see, it goes from... Party goes from like 8:16 to like 15:38. That's so much wasted time. This movie could have been like an hour. But they just waste so much time with unnecessary scenes. Especially, I don't understand it. Like, you're I would have cut. I was watching it. I was like, oh my god, this just never ends. Because it's just them going around, like, filming people doing drugs, and it's like, do something hot, like, make out or something. It's like, oh, she's giving a blowjob. Which, I'm not going to explain that scene, which is important to the plot. So I'll allow that, and it kind of highlights the differences between Amy and Megan. Amy being a good Christian girl. Does she wear glasses? No, she doesn't wear glasses. No, doesn't wear glasses, but I don't know why I thought she wore glasses. I don't know, but good Christian girl versus words I can't well, I'm gonna be honest, she was not okay. I'm trying to keep my ads. I love money, as we all know. There's one thing I love more than women, it's money. But then we actually get Megan's backstory, which explains a lot of the information beforehand. I don't know why this wasn't like the first scene of the movie, and then they could go back in time to do this thing, but she's like, oh, my stepdad abused me, and my mom's kind of a bitch, and I'm like, well, okay, now I understand. But it took 21 minutes to get to that. You see 21 minutes of this character being an absolute idiot and making like the stupidest decisions possible, and then you learn why they do the decisions. It doesn't make me, like, at that point it's like, well, I don't really care anymore. You're kind of already lost, you know? If that was like the first opening scene, I probably would have felt really bad for her, just like I did Amy. But I just couldn't connect with Megan. It was just, it was stupid and dumb. And then you have all of Amy's thing, which is a wholesome 100. Amy is the most wholesome character. It's like something a 10-year-old would record on their like very first phone. They'd be like, "What's up, guys? Today we're gonna be walking around my neighborhood." It's like filmed in the most like horribly like upward. Like, she's like this. Hey, guys. Oh, my God. Yeah, it's like the worst possible camera angles ever. And then she meets the love of her life, Josh. Because his face camera's broken, because his brother broke it, and then his dog broke it. He sounds like... I'll be honest, he does sound like some of the people in my middle school. But that's only because... they sound like 16-year-olds. I would not trust someone. Again, don't meet up with anybody on the internet. I don't know if this movie is trying to be like a PSA. Don't meet up with people on the internet. How dumb are you? Like, that's like the very first thing you learn about stranger danger. Where did the fudge happened here? It's the very first thing you learn about, like, stranger danger. It's like, don't meet people on the internet. It's not like this movie was made, like, right when the internet was becoming a thing. This is 2007. I wasn't born yet. Actually, wait. I think I was born by the time the girl got kidnapped. March 12th. Yes. So I was born February 11th, 2007, for anyone who cares. You don't. But, which means I was like 10, like a month old at that point. But make them act like college students, but then you give them the IQ of a 3-year-old. Like, even if it was a woman. Well, I guess if especially it was a woman, because a man's not going to try and get my pants. A woman, however, women love me. As you know, because you're watching this video, and you're a woman. You're a woman. You are a woman. You are a woman now. So, yeah, she meets Josh, and she's like, let's meet up in this park alley thing. And then he goes, why weren't you there? It's like, I was too shy to talk to you. Oh, really? Because you're so smoky hot. And then they meet up. They meet Josh again. a lot of this movie's dead space, and then Emily is missing. Emily, I keep saying Emily. Wait, that's an actual thing? Why have I searched Emily is missing? What? Is that like a game? Emily is missing game. Oh, I could be thinking of Emily is away. That has to be, because I don't recognize... I must be thinking of Emily is away, because I don't know. Oh, I probably searched it when I was looking for this movie, because I kept thinking that would explain. But wow, major sidebar. So you get so Megan's missing now. You get the most like funniest. It becomes a comedy at this point because it's like such a satire take on the. This is itchy. The satire take on the like news my child is missing. You know, it's like this isn't scary. The only point where it's like really no, there's a couple of points where it's really scary. But other than that, it's more like a drama. So then we get to the whole Emily Josh thing where like Josh is like, you're pretty, and it's like, shut up, I won't fall for your flattery. It's like, you're fat, you're ugly, you'll never get a boyfriend.
You're ugly, you're disgusting, I'm gonna kill you, give me $200. Which
is like, hey, listen, if you weren't dead, hit me up. Hit me up. I'd slide in them Twitter DMs. I'm just saying. But okay, I'll admit there's this one scary scene where the dude's just like looming over Amy as she talks about this doll. And obviously at this point I wouldn't accept any calls from Josh. Then we get to the photos. I'll admit, it's just like uncanny valley, you know. There were so many voice cracks in that. It's just uncanny valley. The things on over them. I don't think I can show this actually. But her nose is bent back. She has like a thing opening her mouth. Like this. But on both sides. And then she's in this thing that's holding her up like this, with a thing over her mouth. So just, you know, put that there, editing me. What is that? Oh, there's a like definition, so I just look weird. And then she's like on her knees, but she's dead. And then we see Amy be kidnapped, which then we have another my child is missing thing. But then they find Amy's camera. And apparently, the dude is so stupid. 22 minutes of literally no substance. Well, that's not true. But it's 22 minutes of not kosher stuff. Basically, makes her eat out of like a dog bowl. The whole time she's like begging for a fan. This is. Oh, and then that happens. She gets. I don't think I need to say. You can just, you know, it's just more not kosher stuff. And then the only scary moment in this whole movie, because I was like, ooh, that's ooh, that's a spooky boy, is when you see Megan's decomposing body. Right, like here. Wait, is she already in it? Oh, I can't tell. It's hard to... Yeah, she's already in it. So... That's scary. I think I can show that. Mostly because we obviously know it's a prop. But that is, like, seriously good effects. Like, if I saw that on the side of the street, let's just say that. I'm taking this off. Thank God. I don't know how people are wearing these right now, like beanies and sweatshirts. It's horrible. God, I hate people. But, this is the only scary moment in the other thing. The rest of it's just like drama, like PSA. Ooh, where is your child? It's 11 a.m. It's 11 p.m. Do you know where your child is? It's not funny. But this, like, this is the only good part of the movie. It's not even like a really, really good part. It's not like it's super scarily. I mean, it's a found footage film. I've seen some, like, Blair Witch was a seriously good found footage film. Because you could, like, feel it, you know? You could, like, feel the emotion. These are child actors. They're like, way, like, a really good child actor is, like, a decent regular actor, like, a decent adult actor. I don't know why that is. They're just not really good at faking emotions. Like, through this whole thing, they're like, hello, Josh, skater dude? Yes, I'd really like to hang out, behind a restaurant, with you, and not be dragged off by your friend and pushed into a car. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. It's just the worst possible. Okay, no, that's not right. It's not the worst possible acting. Amy is pretty good. I'm just simping for Amy at this point, you know. Amy is a pretty good actor, especially when it comes to, like, the worst scene in the movie, which we haven't even got to yet. Megan's not a good actor. Well, okay, she had one good scene, which is when she's explaining her backstory, and she's like all the people, like, all the side characters are really bad actors. It's just not good acting. Especially my child is missing. You know, it's such, like, it feels so, like, irony-based. Okay. Now let's get to the actual, like, worst part of the movie. It's good for, like, a solid 5 minutes. I was doing other stuff, so it just became background noise. It was like listening to this girl, like, whimper for her life. I could be the perfect girlfriend for you. I got boobs. And then she's buried. It's just him digging a hole for, like, and honestly, I would have preferred to see this from Amy's point of view, especially, like, because that would be terrifying. Imagine being stuck in there with that, like, corpse earlier, and all you have is, like, this small little flashlight, so you can, like, see only, like, an eye at a time. It'd be like that, it'd be like, almost like a FNAF, you know, like, I played, like, the VR FNAF game once, and the hardest one for me was the animatronic repair, because the whole time they're just, like, staring at you, like, limp, and if you, like, if you make like one wrong move, you're screwed. But other than that, it was a pretty mediocre movie, you know, nothing too special, it wasn't a bad movie, but it's not like a movie I'd like, ooh, that's a spooky movie. I like the missing posters. Missing poster, like, February 4th, that's so close to my birthday. Don't know why I'm so excited. I like the credits scene. It's them, like, talking about their future, and it really, like, puts into perspective. Yeah, the people who get kidnapped or go missing did have plans, like, did have, like, a future to think about. They were, like, living, breathing human things. Which, I mean, like, when watching murder shows, we don't really think about all that much. But, you know, nonetheless, it was an okay movie. I'll end this by putting this on, and, I don't know, play some TikTok song, or, I can't use the Eyes Blues like the landing anymore. because it got bought by a company, because of freaking TikTok. It's all... God, I hate TikTok. I am mad.